Okay, recap.
Yeah, yeah. That's the way every day goes. Every time we've no control. If the sky is pink and white, if the ground is black and yellow, it's the same way you showed me. Nod my head, don't close.
So back in the summer of 2023, I had the luxury of being able to support Jordan Poole with his off-season workout, and we connected really, really well. So I knew that, like, if there's going to be a time to go and see him play, it was going to be the 23-24 season. And my youngest son, Blake, had never been to an NBA game before. So I thought, somehow I've got to make this happen. It's a perfect opportunity to see one of the best players in the league play, as well as taking my son, who hasn't even seen an NBA game yet. So here we are, February half term. No better moment. The Washington Wizards are playing against the Philadelphia 76ers. So I thought, this is it. This is the moment. So off we went. So as well as it being a trip, an exciting trip about going to see an NBA game, it was also a bit about seeing American history and politics. So staying really close to all of the memorials and museums was a must. So we went to the Lincoln Memorial and got to see what we see in the movies over the years. We walked down the reflecting pool, which was really tranquil and peaceful. Lots of runners and cyclists all kind of taking a moment really and gathering their thoughts. We got to see the World War II Memorial, which is pretty grand, and also the Washington Monument, which we also had the luxury of going up and seeing the viewpoints across the north, south, east, and west from it. Washington really has a way of celebrating, or at least acknowledging and appreciating, the past, whether it be through the war memorials or presidential memorials or iconic people like Martin Luther King. It's got a really captivating way of celebrating the grandness and the impact that they've had over the history in the US. Seeing the White House was pretty cool. From the north side of it, in case you're ever in DC, that's definitely the best view of where to see the White House with the fountain. Don't expect anybody to be going in and out really, because apparently that's not the entrance. But Brian got us to recreate the famous Pablo Escobar picture. I don't think we quite nailed it, but it was super close. But seeing the White House was pretty cool, and the vibe around that. You even got people playing roller hockey, which was pretty cool to see. Walking around the streets of DC is pretty interesting. Super quiet actually. You can tell it's a university district. You've got George Washington, Georgetown is pretty close as well. And you can sense the student vibe in the area. Of course, we had to eat some of the famous cuisines in the US, like Chick-fil-A. And the moment we've all been waiting for, game day, Washington Wizards versus the 76ers at the Capital One Arena.
Can I call you Rose? 'Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom. Can I call you Rose? Can I call you Rose?
Jordan did an awesome job of giving us some fantastic seats, great views, but then also as a little bit of a treat, we got courtside access as well. So being able to see the game that close was super exciting. Blake got to see some awesome dunks and threes right next to him, which was something that I don't think you can ever forget. So that was really cool to see the NBA stars in action, and again, it's about building these lifelong memories, and certainly today was one of those moments. So we got there super early. Brian told us that the first 10,000 people get a bobblehead, so we were like, all right, well, let's get there early and make sure we pick up one each. So that's exactly what we did. Unfortunately, the Wizards did lose, but it was a close game, just losing by 6. But getting to see a lot of the guys perform, especially the new arrivals onto the 76ers as well, like Buddy Hield and Cameron Payne, who also spent some time at Harrow High this summer working on his craft.
I will always love you how I do. Let go of a prayer for you, just a sweet word. The table is prepared for you.
Really is quite interesting in the sense that you've got this long strip of history, right the way from the Lincoln Memorial through to the World War II Memorial, then the Washington Monument, and then at the far end you've got Capitol Hill. So it was definitely important to go and see that and almost have a sense of what really happened on the 6th of January when the Capitol was stormed, and just visualizing the kind of the chaos and impact that moment had, as well as just appreciating, I guess, how the country is governed, and right the way from the past all the way to the future. So it's been a great trip, a short trip, but a great trip. And as well as seeing an exciting NBA game and being that close to the action, I think really it was about, in hindsight, it's about appreciation and gratitude. Just being able to make that trip happen, being connected with some really awesome people that were able to give us access. But then I guess using DC and its way of providing that moment to, I guess, acknowledge the past. For us, it might not necessarily be the American past, the American history, but it certainly is an opportunity for us to gather our thoughts and think about where we've come from, where we are at the moment, because those things provide building blocks for an exciting future. So the trip, I think, has given me a moment to reflect and be excited for what's to come.